Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Monorail Monday. This is the third episode. That's three. And I hope you've been enjoying it so far. If you're new, be sure to check out the first two episodes in this series. We're going to do about 6 episodes, take a little break from series 1, and we'll have a second series or season, as us Yanks call it, and with some more stories. So the first one we did was the proposal. Last week we visited name tags. This could be more on name tags sometime in the future. Today we have another exciting episode. Let's throw it to the voiceover lord for the name of episode 3.
Episode 3, A Car of Our Own.
Ah yes, a car of our own. It's everybody's dream when you come running up as a guest. Sure, you could get stuck in a car with a bunch of other people, but who doesn't love seeking out their own monorail car? Some people use it for good. And some people, aren't so family friendly in their own car. We'll get to that in just a minute. Used to be you could ride in the front. That was eliminated for a lot of reasons we're not going to get into tonight. But everybody would race up front. There would be all these challenges. Again, another episode discussing all about the pros and cons of the front cab, people in it, all that sort of thing. But tonight we're talking about a car of their own. So at most of the major stations on the Express beam or the Epcot beam, the platform tends to come up right at the center of the train, and then you can go forward to the front half of the train or back to the rear of the train. And usually a friendly monorail cast member will be directing everybody all the way down, filling all of the spots, and then maybe at the end, the other direction. Now, in the mornings, everything's busy, everything's full. But when it gets to, say, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, if you're going from Transportation Center, a lot of times may only be filling the first couple of cars. Last couple of cars are going out sort of empty, or maybe a couple people wander down and fill in. Every once in a while, you'd see some folks and they get up to that middle of the platform, the train's in, they're trying to get on the train before it leaves, and there they go. You see them kind of looking around, seeing if they can sneak their way to the back of the train without anybody noticing. Well, some people don't, they think that we're going to come and get them or something if they don't get our approval to go down there. So they'll just kind of wander down, look around, dash into a car on their own, real quiet. And you might see them once or twice before the doors close. You might see them like peeking their heads out of the car, just like, oh, are we going to leave? And did they see us come back in here? In the old Mark IVs, you'd have people that get in their own car and they'd just be like climbing over seats. In the newer trains, they just kind of play around. Sometimes people are up to no good. There are pictures on the internet from people who've gotten a car of their own and used it to not family-friendly devices. Shame on you. Shame on you. But we used to like to have a little bit of fun with people who are seeking their own car. Whether we don't necessarily always know the reasons, but we like to have a little fun with people who are getting their own car. So one of the things you can do in the monorail, at least you could separate your PA. Most of the time you're talking to the PA, we're going to be holding for traffic clearance into the Magic Kingdom. Everybody hears the same thing. However, you can shut off the individual AC units for each car. You can shut off the PAs for each car. And that way you can isolate the individual public address system on the monorail so that you can talk to a very specific single car. So hopefully you're following me here. So you take off out of the Transportation Center, you're heading over to Epcot, and here's the your couple that was in the back of the train seeking their own special car. And you just go in your little console and you'd hit car 1 off, car 2 off, car 3 off, car 4 off, car 5 off. So now you've got the only PA running in the train for the driver. The automatic spiel's still going, but the driver's PA only goes now to car 6. And that's when the magic happens. Depending on what's going on as to what you tell these people. In one case, I knew the name of a young lad who was back in the last car, and I knew that they were back there, and it was a kid's birthday, so you get all excited, and we're just doing this. We're traveling to Epcot just for Joey. Happy birthday, Joey, and you can sort of play it up. And you know Joey's back there going crazy. It's like he's getting announced on the monorail. And you're not bothering everybody else because you just got it focused on them. Other times, especially when those amorous couples would go back there, you know what they're trying to do back there. Parents say, if, you can cover your kids' ears here. We're not going to get into anything too detailed here. But in some cases, people are back in the back car and they're wanting to get a little friendly, a little kissy back there. So we could isolate the PA to that car, and people, they don't know. They assume that you could just be, everybody's hearing it. So you make a little announcement, ladies and gentlemen, we do like to stress that this is a family-friendly park and transportation system. And in order to ensure our family-friendly guidelines, we do have cameras installed in each car, and anyone who is violating those standards, we will immediately be reporting you to security. In fact, we have security on our way to meet the next monorail now. So please make sure you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing. A couple of hints like that. You know they're back there looking for this camera that doesn't exist. There is no camera back there, but you know they're looking for it. Where is it? Where is the camera hidden? And you know that they're seeing the phone, the communication. They know that there's stuff back there. They just can't figure out where the camera is. So then you pull into the next station. So we pull into Epcot, and you said, we're going to be opening the doors and letting everybody off, but a few may not open until security arrives. And you wait. You wait not long, 5 seconds, an extra 7 seconds. Just the tiniest amount of time will spook the non-believers, the people who are doing something wrong. If they're not doing anything, if they're just sitting there looking at guidebooks, they're not nervous at all. But if they've been up to no good back there, as soon as you open those doors, about 7 seconds after everybody else is getting off, the doors open, bam, you can see them take off. If they take off running down the platform, you know that they were doing something they weren't supposed to be doing back there. If they were doing nothing, then they walk off and they're shrugging their shoulders going, what's going on? So that was always kind of fun. Careful, we're on to you with your car of your own. We're watching, always watching. So when it used to be, too, we would have loaders all up and down the platform. And everything's shrinking. Fewer people to do more stuff now. That's true at Disney, it's true in other places. So you may have fewer people just kind of waving everybody down, and you just had to sort of keep an eye. People often tried to sneak in the back cab of the monorail. If they couldn't get up front, they'd wander down to the back end and just open the door and hop in themselves. So I always had to flag that down, and no, you can't ride back here by yourself. There's controls, there's circuit breakers, stuff like that. You just can't have people back there. It used to be we had cast members in the back cab for safety reasons for quite a few years, but that ended in the 90s. And it's never come back since, even though it's not necessarily the worst idea to have an extra monorail person back there, but I guess costs, it's just not conducive to have them back there for the rare occurrence that something happens. I wanted to give you a little preview next week. Next week is going to be a good one. This was great. This one's terrific. Hopefully you think so. If not, then wait till next week. Next week, check it out, the 1992 Cast Member Handbook. They revise it every couple of years. And just so happens I have one from 92. I was there several years before that. But this is the one we're going to go over, 1992's Cast Member Handbook. So we'll go over this handbook and see what's inside. And it's going to be, well, you've seen too much already this time. On the back, recognize this guy, Donald Duck? And somewhere in the archives, I have my traditions, Disney traditions paperwork and classwork from the very first day I worked at Disney. So we're going to look at that That may be a season 2 kind of thing though. So that's going to be coming in the future, and that's pretty exciting. Traditions now is like one day, then you go to your area and they do some more training and sort of pseudo traditions there. When I went, it was 3 days. 3 days at Disney University before you even saw your first location. So it was pretty cool. It was action-packed, filled with stuff. They trained the heck out of you. Now there's like twice as many people. They don't have time. It's like, come in, Disney stuff, here's your name tag, start doing magic. So thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Remember, kids, like I always say, have a good time all the time.